performing the duties of his office.
Digby C. Caesar.
No.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I am Digby, and today we're going to be checking out a new game on the channel. Now, as you guys know, I love me both a good puzzle game and a good story game, and it's been, what, a couple of weeks, maybe a month since we finished up Boxes, and of course we finished up Beyond Two Souls last week, so I am actually in the market, well, basically for both of those things. Now, as far as the puzzle game goes, I do have one in mind, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I am willing to tell you that there are a couple of people in our little community that probably have a pretty good idea what it might be. And yeah, you guys are absolutely spot on, just it's probably not going to be until next week. And now we come to the story game, Star Trek Resurgence. So you may or may not know this as well, but I am a massive Star Trek nerd, and I am talking going back to some of my earliest memories in childhood are watching Star Trek reruns on Sunday. And I grew up reading the books, I had the comics, I had the action figures, I've seen all of the movies in theater, I've got t-shirts, I've got DVDs. I mean, I am definitely a full-on Trekkie. So you can only imagine how excited I was when a friend of mine pointed out to me that this game, Star Trek Resurgence, is actually a thing. And even better, once I started looking into it, I found out this is made by some of the people that are from, like, Telltale Games, who did The Expanse. So yeah, I have done absolutely no research into the story beyond the fact that I know it is a Star Trek game. I have no idea what we're in for. All I know is I get to be in Star Trek as soon as I hit this play button. So if you guys are ready, let's boldly go where no one has gone before.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Yes please, I'll catch that. Okay, bit of a rough start, I'm thinking.
Thanks.
No problem.
You're welcome, dude.
I'm not great with flying.
I know lots of people like that.
But these little shuttles are the worst.
Well, you know what? I've seen worse.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's good.
Okay, crew is impacted by things you say, so we're gonna have relationships as well. Cool.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Alright, which one of these bad boys is ours? Kind of hoping it's the Constellation class, because I always like those. Okay, check in at security, gotcha. WASD to move, that's kind of what I figured. Oh, I should probably point out, we are playing this with mouse and keyboard as well.
Starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
For some reason, my brain read that as Starfleet Emotional Support Services.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintar's 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Okay, you know what?
So,
I'm half tempted to say only
that.
top 20, but I am going to say
Really?
it's very impressive.
That's quite impressive.
thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Humble brag much, dude? Yeah, I'm going to try and be me as much as I can.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Okie dokie smoky. Oh, there we go. I'm liking the controls so far, they're nice and easy. Jara Rydek.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really...
Embarrassed?
It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
Pleasure's mine,
So to
dude.
speak.
Nice to meet you.
The pleasure is mine. Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Yeah, see, he learned a little bit of a lesson in humility, and I didn't have to embarrass him at all. Okay, find Commander Ermot. Do I have a map thing or an objective thing, or levy boots like this lady's got? Dr. Crusher, your feet don't go all the way to the ground there, darling. Okay, well, let me try a couple of control things, like we'll hit tab, no, E, no. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to figure this out on our own. And yeah, it's good to know the game's not gonna be 100% perfect. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of graphics glitching here and there, or goofy things like that, as long as they don't mess with the story. Okay, can we talk to you? No. Alright, where's this commander guy?
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a bully, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
Okay. Don't see anybody over here that's blue, but I'm gonna go this way now because the sign just lit up. I see a green lady. Okay, what do we got? Information.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Okay, thank you for that. And yeah, we did see the blue guy, but it looks like we can actually talk to a couple of people here, so might as well.
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir.
He's over
Right
against
back
the wall.
there, near the replicator.
Right there. Reading the newspaper.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
And now I feel like a bit of a dimwit because I actually asked that lady when I already knew the answer. Ooh, replicated meal, yes please.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Alright, is that it? Anybody else to talk to? No. Excuse me for interrupting your
Excuse me.
conversation there, peoples. Oh, hey, she said excuse me as well. Hello, Commander Ermot. Hail and well met, blue dude.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now.
That's a little bit bumpy.
I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
You know what? Your expectations are good.
I'll do my best to live up to expectations.
Oh, I'm sure you'll do just fine. And if I can help in any way, just let me know.
Well, I tell you what, you could let me go turn on subtitles, which I forgot to do before I started playing. In fact, first chance I get when it's not going to actually interrupt the flow of the story, I will do that. That does not look like the Constellation-class ship I was hoping
The
for.
U.S.S. Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
So in other words, it was an accident.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
No, you know what? Sorry for your
That's
loss,
what it
dude.
means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
You know what? That's a little too personal, number one, so we're going to go with where you hurt.
Were you hurt in the accident? In the equipment malfunction?
Nothing worse than the loss of so many.
I'm going to guess that would have been a yes,
Listen,
too.
I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time. And I'm glad you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first.
Oh, you know what?
Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Well, thanks for the heads up.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you
Okay,
on
press
board.
enter to explore the impact of your
he's eager to
choices.
see
We
you.
will do that in a second as well.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Oh, hold on.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Oh god, are we about to have another equipment malfunction? Plasma torch? Looks like you. Ooh. Let me guess, I gotta cut off all the corrosion. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, this is cool. Yeah, I'll do that again. So we just gotta keep that in the center and all is good. Thank God I've had a ton of practice playing darts on GTA 5. Oh, it wants me to go that way. I'm sorry. Let me guess. Now I gotta screw it back in. So W to go forward and then rotate the mouse. No, it's D in this way.
Is that?
Congratulations, we've mastered plug and play. Alright, the lower decks.
I thought that thing was totally fried.
Hi, are you my love interest? And are you a trail?
Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Millie.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Okay, really quick, before we follow Ed Solar to engineering, let's hit enter to see the impact of our choices. Okay, what do we got? Made a strong first impression with Commander Ermot, coming off as humble and appreciative while showing empathy, which is pretty much what we wanted to do. And Calloway was grateful for me not making him feel like an asshat. Also welcome. Okay, do I actually use the mouse to switch people? I do. Okay, and Carter hasn't actually done anything yet. Now, while we're here, let's go see if we can turn on subtitles and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so now we can shift to run. Hopefully that worked. Whoops, got snagged. Alright, who is it I'm supposed to be talking to? Alright, she went that way, which means I'm probably gotta go this way?
Work in that tube. Then take
It's
the
not
turbo lift
you.
from section 2 to
It's
section
not
3.
you.
Well, wait, there's a subfloor crossover around.
Alright, not talking you. I think she said I was supposed to talk to our commander.
Nothing, I just like.
That dude's not a commander, but hey crewman, have you seen the commander guy?
Hey, you need any help? Okay, good luck.
Not terrifically helpful. Okay, was I supposed to follow her?
Carter Diaz!
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Ah,
You and me
fine,
working
Dave, we can
together,
handle it.
we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious. Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Ed Solar on repeated occasions.
You know what? Let's go for the joke, because Vulcans are famous for their sense of humor.
So you're saying we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could. You can interpret as you see fit.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood.
We'll be ready.
But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
Oh, you little sucker.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
Aye, aye, Captain Bly.
All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovok said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
Darling, you worry too much.
You gotta have some faith, Nilly. Starfleet Command wouldn't send us out if we weren't ready.
6 months ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's you again. I recognize you.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement.
Oh, give him a chance.
They seem alright. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt.
Yeah, Nilly Vanilli, chill.
Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Hang on, is that the levitating
Miranda,
lady?
You're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Welcome aboard.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
Obviously.
She still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Yes, please. I want to go out.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa!
Good to go.
Starting to feel like she might be my love interest.
See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Oh. I'm gonna have to get used to, like, putting the cursor over top of the thing to actually activate buttons and things. I really do like this control scheme, though. It's pretty immersive and actually really intuitive. Oh, is this really as fast as I can go? Never mind, I think they were just setting up the dramatic shot.
Never gets old.
Not that I blame them, because, wow.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Alright, where's this replicator? Because I feel like having some munchies. What do we got for options?
Just a sip of something.
Oh, tea, Earl Grey, hot.
Tea.
Do I get to keep the mug?
That's lovely.
Nope.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
You know what? That was perfectly fine.
Unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it.
You're welcome.
As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
You know what? I don't actually know the whole details. I only know what the blue dude told me, so... a few more details, boss?
You'll have to forgive me. I don't really know the details.
Starfleet has been kind enough to keep the story contained. Probably because they want to protect me. But I don't mind telling you. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career? Right there, within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship could handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility.
Which is good, because it sounds like it was all your fault.
And I have to live with the consequences.
You know what? No, we have to move on. Oh, crap. Yeah, we have to move on, even though it was completely your fault.
You can't dwell on the past, on things you can't change.
There's nothing that can be done about it now. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me.
Oh, you know what? He's starting to sound a little bit sketchy.
My former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work.
You know what? Final decision is yours. I'm not going to tell him that I'm going to follow him at 100% blind, but I'm not going to disobey him either. So, you know what? I'll leave it up to you.
This is your ship, and you are the captain. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever you say, goes.
That's the kind of support I'm looking for. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't.
Or maybe we should quit chasing whales there, Captain
Hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
I bet I guess who the diplomat is, so you know what? We'll just ask about the storm.
So basically, we're being sent into the eye of a storm, more powerful than anything on record.
Well, yes. but we're taking every precaution. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you.
I'm not entirely certain your coattails are the ones I want to be riding on, but I'll go for I'll be honored.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come. Let me introduce you to the crew.
Lead the way, boss. I'm right behind you. Okay, so his ready room isn't off the bridge, it's down the hall.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Yeah, he looks like a party waiting to happen.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time.
Creepy.
And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
The honor's mine, darling.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
You know what? I'm glad you're inspired.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you, but it's important to chart your own path.
Thanks. You can count on it.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont.
Ah, yes, the Blue
Please
group.
do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Alright, Captain. Okay, so sit in the captain's chair when ready. Oh, I've been waiting to command my own starship for ages, so you know what? Number one, we have the Khan.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Mission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter. Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I hate to say it, darling, but I got no complaints.
Now, what are you complaining about? We got the best seat in the house out here. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Alright, well, I hate to say it because it feels like it's about to get really exciting, but that is pretty much the end of my recording time, so I think I'm going to leave this episode here. Now, initial thoughts on this game would be it is a little bit glitchy and it definitely could use some serious optimization, but overall, so far, the characters have been really engaging. The story is very much all that I had hoped for. I mean, even I can sense some of the dark undercurrents going on, and that is always the sign of a good story. And yeah, end of the day, it feels very much like Star Trek. And on that boldly going note, as always, I have been Digby. I thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Star Trek Resurgence. And yeah, I hope to see you for the next one.